Welcome back to the Chill and Chat Talk Show.
Chilling and chatting. Okay, we did a lot of that this past weekend.
We sure did, but I'm not sure if that's chilling because it was a pretty intense weekend.
It was. I found out you have issues.
No, you have issues.
No, you have issues.
Okay. Well, okay, we both have issues, obviously.
Okay, so actually to fill everyone in, we took Karen McGregor's Rock the Stage, which is a 3-day intensive seminar on successful speaking.
Intensive.
Intensive, definitely. One interesting thing that we did learn, however, was that our issues can show up on stage or maybe even in our talk shows.
I know. And even issues from our childhood apparently can affect how you present and speak to an audience. It was really interesting.
Yeah, she nailed me and then she nailed you too.
Yeah, she sure did.
And while she was nailing you, you pointed at me in the crowd. You nailed her, you nailed her.
Well, I was deflecting. I had to do that. Anyway, one day we'll have to interview each other.
Yes.
And learn about some of those things that we shared. And actually, we're having Karen McGregor on our show later in the season.
Yes.
Yeah, so very exciting.
So about the issues, we might need some wine for that.
Oh, definitely.
Anyway, speaking of wine, up next, Utterly Uncorked.
Welcome to Utterly Uncorked. And today we're having another big and bold.
Yes,
Oops,
I'll
sorry.
let you do it this time.
Jackson Triggs and
Grand Reserve.
Oh yes, the Grand Reserve. That makes it sound
2017.
so- yes, and friend Oliver, and it has CSV Red. So what does that stand for?
Well, CSV would be Cabernet Sauvignon, Shiraz, and Viognier.
Ooh, that sounded way better than I said.
We switched roles. We had a couple of takes before this.
But that was
So
good.
let's smell. Okay, medium nose because you can smell it when it's at your lips. And
Definitely full body.
beautiful
Just a
color.
bit, yes.
Let's taste it. Beautiful.
Wow. That
Yeah.
is really big and bold.
I do
Love
have
it.
it is a bit of a mystery one because
Yes.
there's Viognier
Yes.
in this, and that's not normal.
Yes, because that's normally white.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
but very well done.
Ooh.
Very well done.
Well,
Good
they
job,
said they
Jackson
actually add
Triggs.
the Cabernet Sauvignon after fermentation, so maybe that's the other mystery. I don't
Maybe.
know, but it makes it very good.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, what are we talking about today?
Well, I wanted to hear about those wine tasting games that you used to do. I remember in our
I used
early
to
days.
do them all the time.
I
I,
know.
would host these big
Yeah.
parties, and I would hide all the
Yeah.
wine bottles in these bags.
Yeah, I
And
mean
then-
that's how I first got really introduced to
Yes,
wine.
and then we do these
Yeah.
blind tastings. We had many. I need to do one of
I
those
know,
again.
what the heck?
Well, here, when I used to do that all the time, we would just use a paper bag.
Right.
Then my friends started buying me gifts.
Of course, 'cause
and I got
they
a
all know
whole
you love
bunch
wine.
of wine tasting kits.
Yes.
This one's actually one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's very cute.
So in this one, we get 5 or 6 of these bags.
Nice.
So when the guest arrives at the door, they get a bag.
Okay.
They uncork their bottle.
Yeah.
They put it in the bag.
Yeah.
And and then it gets. We don't even need to. We don't number them until we mix them all up.
Right.
Then they all get a number, and we have.
So you take all the bottles and then you mix them all up.
Yeah, and
then you
then
put the
and then we
numbers.
number them,
Okay.
and then we wine taste by the numbers, and then we
Okay,
kind of
and-
we have to guess what
Yeah.
kind of wine it is.
And I like how you have these tasting notes
Yeah,
too.
everyone
so,
gets one of these.
Yeah. So that kind of helps you be able to describe it. So you have C, note the color and clarity.
Yes.
And then sniff. Like
Which we
that.
just did, yeah.
For the aromas. And then
sip and slosh.
I like
So I
that.
guess you
I
go
like that
sip-
name too.
Sip and slosh.
Sip and
Ooh, yeah.
slosh.
So you sip,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
move it
For
swirl
the
it.
wine flavor and texture. So and then you
Yes.
can rate it. So
And then you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Whoops.
That is really cool. I love it.
Yeah, and then we have to name on here the winery, the wine name, and the varietals. So that means
Oh,
we're
so
saying
afterwards.
we're guessing: is this a Cab Sav
Oh,
in here?
okay,
Is
okay.
there a Pete Verdot in
okay.
here? Like we're guessing the different
Right.
types of wines.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
now that
cool.
we've done that WSEC course, I really
know
want
that.
to do
Yeah,
this.
that's what I was saying. I'd love to do this again because we've learned so much, and I feel like I could do a lot better job.
And you can even guess the year,
Yeah.
the vintage, and the price.
Ooh.
So it's lots of guessing, and then we
Nice.
see who is the
Yeah.
closest. I
Fun.
usually win,
Yeah.
just saying.
Now, what's this other game over here?
Oh, so I have this other fun game. It's called Wine Wars.
Ooh, Wine Wars. Ooh,
And
I love that.
It's
Another great
it's
name.
Trivial Pursuit. And
Yeah.
there it is right now. Do you want to,
Yeah.
let's give each other each a question.
Oh,
Wine word question.
no.
Oh no, live. Well, almost live. All right, I'll do one for you first. Okay.
I'm
True or false?
oh, I like true or false.
Sherry.
50-50.
You remember Sherry? We did learn this in our course.
Oh, Sherry, okay,
Sherry, like smells in unfortified wines, may indicate a faulty wine due to oxidation. So sherry. Oh, I see. It's a wine that has a sherry-like smell.
Oh, sherry-like smell. Okay.
Yeah. In unfortified wines
Okay.
may indicate a faulty wine due to oxidation. True or false?
True.
You're right.
Yeah.
You got it right.
Wow.
Oh no, I'm gonna get
Well,
I'm
it is
scared. No, I'm gonna be on the
50-50,
spot.
But
And
actually,
so-
I did know that because.
Hey, yeah. So these are such great questions, and the answers are on the back.
Oh dear, need glasses.
Would you like me to read it for you?
True or false? Outside France, the spelling of Semignon.
Sauvignon.
Sure, that sounds
Is that
good.
what you're trying to say? Yes.
Often loses the accent over the e.
Sauvignon.
Yeah. So true or false? Outside France, the spelling. Okay, I guess so. The spelling of Semignon or whatever
Sauvignon Blanc.
has an accent on it,
Cabernet
but often
Sauvignon.
loses that accent over the e. True or false?
Sauvignon. Oh, I don't think so, but it sounds like it would. That's a really hard question. I think we say it the French way, Sauvignon.
Right. Okay, but
Yeah.
do you lose the accent?
I don't think so.
So what are you saying? False?
False.
I love how you're trying to I don't think so.
I don't
but
think so.
True.
It's true, really?
Yeah.
I know, I've never noticed. It's because we're in Canada. So
Yeah.
speaking of that,
Yeah.
in this game it has
Yes.
a map of the wines of the world.
So
and
we were
guess
noticing
what?
this.
We couldn't believe it. It stopped at the border of the USA. They
There's
don't even
no
mention
Canada.
Canada
What
in
the
this
heck?
game. I know. There's no mention. But when we did take the WSET course, we did find out Canada is like a drop, a
Like
dot
0 something percent
in the
world.
total wine
Yeah,
production
it's
in the world.
crazy because it seems such a big thing here.
It is a big thing here, and we have the most amazing wines, and I think it's the world's best kept
Well,
secret.
let's change it.
Let's do it.
Let's change the world and make Canada a place on a map.
All right. Well, cheers.
Awesome. Cheers.
Welcome back, and really great wine.
That Jackson Trigg, lovely full-bodied wine. And those games, those were a lot of fun.
Sure,
Yes.
I guess so. I mean, we're going to do one every week.
Yes.
I kind of messed up on my answer.
You sure did. And I got my answer.
You did.
Yes.
Anyways, wine is great, but let's get a little serious. You know, Remembrance Day is coming up very shortly.
Yes, and very important day to reflect on.
Absolutely. So, Jenny, how old were your parents during the war, or were they even born?
Yeah, actually, both my parents lived through Second World War. They lived in Britain, and my dad was born in May of 1939, which is when the war began in September. So he was only a little infant. And
Yeah,
then-
my mom was also born in 1939 in November.
Okay.
They're the same age.
And then my mom was 1940, so she was, a little girl during the war, and she actually has shared some stories on just, remembering the sirens that went on, and then how they
I
had
heard
to,
those too from my parents.
yeah, and then they had to rush to a bomb shelter, and
Wow.
it's just crazy,
That is-
how terrifying.
I mean, we're complaining about COVID-19. but
I know.
I mean, that's a whole other thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, so my parents actually both lived in Holland as well during the war, and they were young, and they didn't actually meet till they moved to Canada.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And my dad's family had to actually live on a boat for a few months because when the dikes were bombed in Holland, their house went underwater.
Oh my!
And they had 13 kids.
13 kids.
Yes.
On a boat.
On a boat, right beside their house.
Oh my goodness.
And you know what is interesting is I went back to Holland 10 years ago, and we went to the house where my dad grew up,
Yeah.
and they still have the watermark on the ceiling to show where the water, how high it went.
Wow.
And they didn't want to get rid of it because it's a part of the history.
And you were able to get into the house and see that.
Well, it's so, in Holland, they're so friendly. My mom just drove us to where his house was.
Yeah.
And we were just outside on the driveway, or not on the driveway, on the road.
Yeah.
And then this lady came out and she goes, "Can I help you?" And we were like, "Oh, actually, we're just looking at this house. My dad grew up here." And she went, "What? Well, come on in and have a cup of tea." So we went in and had tea and everything.
Aww.
It was very cool.
Well, that would have been really neat to see.
Yes.
Yeah. And, it's so hard to imagine, as we share some of these stories. This is done without judgment because it doesn't matter who was involved in the war. It was terrible for all sides. And, there was on all sides losing, children, sons, daughters, mothers, fathers, but just absolutely horrible.
Anyways, Jenny, we do have mail.
We do.
Actually, mail from October 13th, 1916. That's over 100 years ago.
Over 100 years ago. It's crazy. So a little bit about that. My grandfather, Anthony Wood, he was actually a lieutenant colonel in World War II. But this is about World War I, and he was just a little boy, under 5 years of age, and he had 4 brothers who are all in their 20s, like kind of a wide age gap. But anyway, those 4 boys went off to World War II, and unfortunately, only one returned. And
1 out of the 4?
1 out of the 4.
Oh, that's so sad. That just breaks my heart as a mother.
Well,
oh my goodness.
I was thinking, you have 4 boys. Could you imagine,
No,
Yeah.
that would just be so tragic.
Yeah.
That would be so tragic.
So today I actually have 3 telegrams that were written to my great-grandparents that they received after each time one of their sons died in the war. And so, and it happened in a span of a year, 1 year.
In 1 year.
Telegram after telegram after telegram. And they were destroyed. Like my great-grandfather was a solicitor. He had a law practice in 2 parts of England. And they just gave up. And they lost everything. So, yeah.
That's very sad.
So
are you going to read one of them?
I'm going to read one of them. This one really, his name was Basil. So he would have been my great uncle, I think. Great uncle, or
he would have been, your great uncle. Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, it says, "Dear Mrs. Wood," which would have been my great grandmother. Says, "I don't know how to set about this letter, which I must be bringing you the worst news which a letter can bring. I feel that although it does bring that saddest of all news of Basil, it may be perhaps also some consolation to you to know that he died a most heroic death, and in giving his life actually saved by his gallantry and self-sacrifice the lives of his men.
Wow.
He was one of the 2 officers engaged in a raid here last night. He was wounded on the parapet, and from there he might have got in. But like the great-hearted fellow he was, he actually preferred to remain where he was in spite of the offers of help, and from where he lay, he flashed his electric torch to show his men who were in the trenches how to get out and get back. What he did, he knew he meant certain death. But he did it without the slightest hesitation, and I know very well that the mother of such a son will be glad to know that no one has ever done a finer thing." Whew.
That just makes me want to cry.
Oh my goodness. Horrible.
So he died a hero, saving his men.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whew. Okay, your turn.
I can't imagine getting a letter like that.
Yeah.
Now, we have letters on our side of the family, too. Yeah. I did ask my mom if she could get a copy of it, but it's at my cousin's house. But I do know what it's about. So both sides of my family, they were really involved with helping the Jews escape out of Holland.
Right.
Because, we all know if they didn't escape, what would happen. So both sides of my family have stories of that.
Wow.
But in this one particular side of the family, my great uncle, he got caught trying to save some Jews in his house.
Yeah.
And so when that happens, he goes to the concentration camp as well. So he was a very resourceful man, and he actually somehow got a letter out to his family. Because I guess he convinced one of the guards to get a letter out.
Oh my goodness.
And he wrote a letter to his family, and in the letter he said all the things he wanted to do when he got out of the concentration camp.
And did he get out?
Unfortunately, he died in the concentration camp.
That's horrible.
But our family got a beautiful award,
Yeah.
right from the country Israel.
Yeah.
It's called the Vad Vashem Award, and it was officially awarded to our family for the heroic assistance to Jews in hiding the Jews during World War II
Wow, absolutely amazing.
and risking
Yeah.
their lives.
Yeah.
And my great uncle died because of
Yeah.
that.
And again, no judgment on, any of people who participated in the war. It was just horrible for everybody. Again,
Yes.
Everybody lost family members, and it would just be so hard. But we encourage everyone to take the time to reflect and acknowledge the courage and sacrifice of all those who fought and died in all wars.
Yes. Anyways, let's switch gears to a more positive subject. Let me think. How about Jenny's issues?
Oh, right. Ha ha. Well, our next guest is actually the perfect person to help us, a personal coach.
Yes. Yes, so we are going to be chatting with Alyson Seale, and she is a coach of Level Up Coaching, and we're really excited.
Excellent. So let's meet her.
All right, we'll be right back after this. Well, that was a beautiful tribute to Remembrance Day.
And so let's share some more on our upcoming guest speaker.
Yeah, so as I said, Alyson, she owns the Next Level Up Life Coaching, and she has a 4-week course called Springboard.
Yeah, and Alyson is associate professor at the University of the Fraser Valley with a master's degree in education and has been working with recent graduates, helping them springboard from high school into adult life since 2004. She loves to work with people who are ready to make the change happen in a fun and action-oriented environment.
But first, a word from our sponsor. Welcome, Alyson.
Yeah, thanks for coming on the show again.
Well, thanks for having me. It's great to see you guys again.
Hey, so tell us all a little bit about yourself, Alyson.
Well, I've been working in the life coaching field since about 2004. And in particular, I love working with students that are sort of in that first 5 years after high school when they're really ready to figure out life.
Yeah, I was thinking that's probably a way better age to be working with compared to like high school or, when they're still figuring things out.
Yeah, well, they've had a little bit of experience and realizing that maybe a little bit of guidance might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, they're open to it more and know where they're going.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, Alyson, we're all hearing a lot about life coaches these days.
Yeah.
Could you explain to us all what is a life coach?
Absolutely. There is a lot more in the media and a lot more talk about life coaching these days. Life coaches are folks that can support people kind of in the background, helps people to get clarity on where it is that they want to go, helps to motivate them, helps to strategize and make plans, and then helps to keep people accountable.
Right.
At least that's what my coach does for me, and that's what I do for my
Oh, you have
you
a
have a
coach.
coach?
Oh, do we need one too?
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely, I have a
she
coach.
does, I know.
No,
but
she does.
No, she does.
Yeah, you know what? Coaches are really great for just about anybody. I'm thinking, from somebody who doesn't have an idea of where it is that they want to go. They might just be thinking, you know what? There's got to be more to this.
Yeah.
Right to, I was speaking with the president of a local organization, fairly large organization, just yesterday, and she was telling me that she has a coach. And so, somebody to mentor you through those difficult times or help you to visualize or strategize. So can be really helpful wherever you are in your career.
Well, it sounds a bit like a counselor or a therapist. So how is a life coach different?
Well, you know what? They do sound a little bit the same sometimes. But a counselor or a therapist typically is working with folks who may be having some difficulties, maybe some trauma that they need to work through.
Right.
Where a life coach is more about, taking people where they're at and building forward. So it's a very positive, moving forward, building on what it is that you are already doing, and then finding out what it is that you want and setting goals and achieving those goals.
So it's more looking forward than necessarily maybe looking back, like a
Absolutely.
therapist. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll be right back and hear some more right now after this message. So welcome back, everyone. So we're here with Alyson, and Alyson, you just told us that we need a life coach. So how does one go about finding a life coach?
You know what? Finding the right life coach for you is really important. And it's going to be different for everybody. So you want to find somebody that you can really relate to, somebody that you can share your hopes and your dreams with, and your fears with, and somebody that's going to be able to sort of move you in the direction that you want to go. You also want to make sure that the person that you're hiring to be your life coach is going to have some experience in the area that you want to go into, that they've been around for a little while, and that they've got some credentials.
Right. Yeah, I think you got to find a personality that fits with your personality, that you feel comfortable with, and
Absolutely. Well, you're going to be spending some time with them, so you might as well have somebody that you enjoy being with.
Yeah,
right?
you have to like them.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
So I've heard there's a special project called 6x6 Springboard coming up soon. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for asking about that. It's a new project that Level Up Life Coaching has, and 6x6 Springboard Challenge is we are taking 6 students for 6 weeks, and we are springboarding them into life.
I like that name.
It's
very visual, very visual.
Yeah, we're really excited about it. So, like I said, we're going to be working with students that have been out of the high school system for about 5 years, anywhere in that first 5 years, and that maybe they've gone from, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, to, oh my gosh, I got all this energy, but I don't know what to do. Like, who tells me where to go and what to do, and how do I find these people? So we're going to be connecting people to their communities, connecting them to mentors, clarifying their vision, clarifying sort of the next steps, and helping them through. So it's really just, boom, a springboard into life. We're excited.
Nice. I bet some parents will be really excited about that too.
Yeah, and there is, because we're looking for a very specific group of people, there is a little bit of an application process, and a little bit of a phone interview that we're going to do. But if parents want to be able to share that with their children or their adult children, they can absolutely refer. And of course, if you are a person who is in that first 5 years outside of high school, you can also refer yourself.
Well, that sounds like a great program.
And so how do people find you in your business?
Well, all you need to do is to be able to email me, and and just in the subject line, you just want to put 6x6, really nice and simple, and I'll send you out an application form, and I can respond within the first 48 hours, and then we'll have a little phone conversation, make sure that we have a good match with the program and with you, and that we can help to move your life forward and keep you accountable. And yeah, it's fairly simple and straightforward.
Excellent. Awesome.
Well, thank you
for sharing
so much. Yes, thank you so much for sharing with us today.
You're welcome. Thanks
up
again for
next-
having me.
Treasure trails. Welcome to Treasure Trails.
And we're on Salmon Ridge Trail that runs through Promontory and hooks up with lots of different other hikes that, you know, of
The
course we-
bridlewood trails,
Yes,
right? Yes,
exactly.
And this trail was closed for a long time.
Yes, and it's finally open. I'm so excited because it's absolutely beautiful.
And I haven't been on it yet, but you have, right?
Yes.
All right.
Let's go.
I thought you said light and easy. Okay, that was a tough, steep incline.
And well, luckily, at the top of the incline, we have this wonderful bench donated from the Salmon family.
Yes,
who
let's have a
actually-
look at it.
Yeah,
Yes.
They actually donated this park, well, it was a farm, for this wonderful hike. So
Well, that's awesome. So when I saw Salmon Ridge, I thought we were going to be walking along a ridge and see some salmon.
salmon like just swimming around the ridge.
But it's actually someone's last name. I love
Yes.
it. Okay, we're at our first path crossways, Jenny. Up or down? Doesn't down look lovely?
Well, down is actually part of the hike, but up is a really nice viewpoint. So let's go up first.
I would say by this sign that this guy has a binocular and this little guy is pointing that way. So would that be the viewpoint?
Let's try it.
Okay, we're going downhill right now, and when I think of a view, I think, you know, you're going really high. We may have gone the wrong way, Jenny. Okay, Jenny, we're still going down.
Well, because we did a big up, now we're going a big down.
Still going down. There's more stairs going down. And more stairs.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so we have a beautiful view of the river behind us along the trail of the Salmon Ridge.
And I'm gonna guess that's the view they were talking about in that sign earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that fallen tree.
Yeah, another casualty of that crazy windstorm we had a few weeks ago.
Yes.
The last berries of the season. There's a few here to eat. Ooh. It's a little hard.
Okay, more stairs going down. It's gonna be quite the trek. Back up.
Oh, slippery.
All right, we are at the end of the Salmon Ridge Trail before we have to turn around and walk up all those stairs.
But what you can do, you can actually hook up with all the different bridal wood trails that go on throughout Promontory, and you can also take the trail right down to the Chilliwack River Lake Road. No, Chilliwack Lake Road.
All right, I got an idea. Let's count all the stairs we have to do to get back up that huge mountain.
Okay,
90 so far.
90. Are you out of breath?
Yeah, you're not.
No. 91, 92, 93, 94, 155,
246 and I'm hardly out of breath. Oh, look at those stairs. All right, we just did 305 steps.
307.
It seems our count is off. Our viewers are going to have to let us know how many it is
'Cause
up to
now-
this point so far.
And if we're going to hide the prize, we might be 2 steps off.
We
'Cause
might
she's
be.
2 steps off.
Or she's 2 steps off.
She's 2 steps.
All right, we're ready to hide the treasure.
And we're so excited because when you find this treasure, it's going to give you a $25 gift certificate to Unica.
I love Unica.
Yeah.
It's in Garrison.
Yes, very classy resale boutique store.
New and used,
Yes.
beautiful clothing.
Yes, and not just clothing, but also handbags and footwear, and right in Garrison. So the lucky winner, $25 gift certificate.
You don't
from
want to
Unica.
miss this one, and it's at step 305.
No, 307.
From the bottom up, 305.
At the stair, 307.
Yeah, 307. No, 305.
307. And we're hiding it here on the side of the mountain, and it's so dirty. And I'm hiding it under here. There we go.
All right, we got to the top, 375.
375 stairs. We actually agree on that.
Well, you said, you started at my number though. So it could be 375 or
I actually
377.
forgot to quit.
So now you have to rely on me.
I forgot to count the last one, so I guess I have to go with you.
375. And we're back here at this sign that told us to go right.
And we're gonna go left.
Let's try it.
Look at the moss. It's gorgeous.
There's a fork in the road, Jenny. What are we gonna do?
Okay, I don't think it's part of the Salmon Ridge Trail, but I guess it's a little extra hike that you can add on at the end.
Yes, so
Yeah.
we're gonna end here at the fork in the
Yeah.
road and
Happy
treasure hunting. Welcome back, everyone.
And such a great hike on the Salmon Ridge Trail in Promontory.
Yes, and that was a lot of stairs.
It was definitely a lot of stairs, but a beautiful view of the Vedder River. And also, you know what? The stairs are great because of the butt burn, so.
Of course. And now for the winner of last week's treasure trail, which was Island 22. The winner is Lisa Snow.
Yes.
And we actually announced her last week because she found it before our show even aired.
Yeah, I actually got to meet her because she came in to pick up her gift, and she said she was just out walking, and she saw that little piece of plastic hanging out, the gift was wrapped in, and found our hiding spot. So
Wow, good eye, Lisa.
Yeah.
So Lisa won a gift donated by Omega Engineering, and she got a travel coffee mug, a Swiss Army light, or at least an Omega version
Nice.
of that, and the Mountains Are Calling journal. So thank you, Omega.
Yeah, congratulations, Lisa. And great interview with Alyson Seale. I just love how open and, she's just full of spark. You can see she'd be an amazing personal coach.
Absolutely, and after last weekend, I think we both need one.
Probably. So now for next week, we're interviewing Tara Tang she's the BC Director of Operations of the Joy Smith Foundation, which is a registered charity that works to ensure that every Canadian man, woman, and child is safe from manipulation, force, or abuse of power designed to lure and exploit them into the sex trade or forced labor.
Yes, such a great charity. And anyone who wants to share with us questions, feedback, or requests for topics, email us at chillandchattv@gmail.com.
Until next time,
Cheers!
keep chilling and chatting.